This video deals with difficult subject matter and explicitly discusses suicidal ideation. This may be unsettling to some viewers, and discretion is advised. If you are struggling with the feelings described in this discussion, please know that you are not alone. If you are in crisis, please consider calling one of the numbers on your screen today. When I was 14, I felt out of time. Each day I took belabored steps from a home that I no longer recognized after the disintegration of my parents' marriage, to a school where I was relentlessly bullied and isolated. I had begun failing my classes, my latent intelligence notwithstanding. I was alone. I hated myself. I wanted nothing. I was going nowhere. I believed in nothing but the reality of the pain that I felt every day in just waking up, brushing my teeth, showering, and getting out the door. On my journey each day, I crossed a bridge over train tracks in my hometown. As I passed by, I often contemplated what it would be like to release myself from the existential darkness and filth that I was shrouded in every day. The devil that I didn't know at that time felt much safer than the devil that I did know. I spent nights crying on my bedroom floor, and of course, I had to factor in the impact that my thoughts had on those I loved. Never mind that I felt that they should not and could not love me. I was desperate. We humans have no words to describe this. It is cataclysmic. It is all-consuming. It is as impossibly hard to comprehend as it is demotivating. It is internal and external, and so there seems to be no escape. And seeking release from this state is the result of a feeling that the battle has been lost and that we are incapable of recovering from it. It is the apex of numbness and pain, the repeated scarring of the heart and the mind, the seemingly inevitable conclusion to a persistent fear of and resentment towards going on. We cannot couch these thoughts and experiences with sanitized language and watered-down explanations, because no such language and no such explanations exist. These feelings are physiological. They are burdensome beyond the greatest quantifiable measures. They appear without end. Those experiencing these things are trapped and heavily bruised inside a dimly lit mirror maze, paralyzed by the thought that their next move may lead them directly into another dark glass pane, and terrified by the notion that the maze has no easily identifiable endpoint. This devastation is a lion. Those who have met this lion have realized his aggression. They have been clawed, bitten, played with as if they were a toy. This lion is unrelenting, but he will never kill you, for he is never hungry. Life for those in this permanent lion's den is contending with this lion. The lion is forever. He cannot be killed nor tranquilized. With one's own bare hands, one must find a method of taming this lion. This process is the reconciliation of the anguish of the present with the invisible and unknowable potential for both beauty and grief in the future. This lion is innately aggressive, and no amount of food will sate his desire to do ill by his victim. Proving oneself a formidable opponent to this lion may be enormously challenging. The standard method, rejecting the lion's existence, ignoring his advances, running from him as he charges you, is unfortunately ultimately unproductive. One may then decide that the best course of action is to contend and fight the lion head on. One may choose to swing upon the lion, to aim for weak points, to dodge where necessary, but to approach the battle as it comes to them. But this act alone, asserting dominance without ever taming the lion's aggression, will not neutralize him, for he cannot be killed and he cannot be put to sleep. One might then conclude that the only way to successfully achieve dominance over this lion is to engage it as a superior, to fight where necessary, to intimidate, to shout, to rely upon the assistance of tools and even other people, and to coax the lion into submission. Interestingly, this is the path which expends the least energy, but it is also the path which requires the strongest will and determination. While this is a difficult course to pursue in its entirety, it is a relatively straightforward path to start on. Contending with this lion may be painful, but recognizing its presence and beginning to proclaim that one is in control is a simple enough starting point that even those in the lion's jaws may be able to begin. Then, of course, there is the reality that taming this lion once does not last in perpetuity. Animals are unpredictable. The lion, much like a dog or even a caterpillar that you've tamed, may turn without a moment's notice. But taming this beast once provides, via experience, a recipe for how to do so again. Now, years later, 8 years later, I find myself struggling again from time to time. And when this lion comes round to haunt my dreams, to gnaw at me, to destroy my resolve, to attempt to erase the progress I've made, and to draw the energy from my soul, I must recall my previous experiences with taming him, and then, and only then, may I begin to work towards, once again, approaching a détente.